Hi guys, just for something different, here's an adventure bike review. I get to ride and film with the Muppets from the Cross Training Enduro channel. The group was offered a chance to ride AJP's new Australian models recently, and I covered my thoughts on the SPR 310R and the SPR 510R recently. Here's my take on the AJP Pr7. It first arrived in Australia back in 2018, but almost no one bought them due to a lack of promotion or information, and a relatively unknown brand name. In recent years, this has changed with quite a few dealers popping up and several container loads of AJPs sold before they even land in Australia. Just as a point of reference, my current adventure bike is an old Yamaha Tenere 660. That's the single-cylinder thumper. These are great bikes, super reliable, and they get the job done. The Pr7 has the same kind of old-school reliability and thumper torque, but they also have more power, a very light wet weight, and handle really well due to the enduro-like Sarks suspension. The Pr7 is the lightweight adventure bike that so many of us keep asking for, but the manufacturers have chosen to ignore us. The KTM 690 and Husqvarna 701 come close, but typically you need to spend money on remapping, getting the suspension fixed, getting a bigger fuel tank, and also a comfortable seat. Then, if you want the rally tower, and the windscreen, and the rally exhaust and navigation tablet, you've got to spend another $3,000 to $5,000 to get this installed. And while later model 690s are more reliable than the early ones, there's still a fairly long list of things that can go wrong if you like to take your bike off the beaten track. By all means, the Pr7 is not a cheap bike, but what impressed me is that out of the box it's ready for serious adventure riding. It's a simple case of add fuel and go. If you were to add all of the extra accessories that the Pr7 comes with onto a KTM or a Husky, it makes the Pr7 look like an even better value for money option. So what's our group's overall assessment on the Pr7? Great power delivery. It pulls from just above idle into a very strong mid-range, which is where most of us ride most of the time. It felt very planted on dirt roads, even with the high pressures from the showroom. The suspension worked really well for all of the riders, and our weights range from 80 kilos to 100 kilos. We did some Googling around, and it looks like a few niggly problems with the early models have been well and truly sorted out by 2025. The only thing that stood out for me was the poor turning circle, but I also own a beater, so I'm kind of used to it. Some of the other guys were saying that this is pretty typical with the rally style motorbikes, for example the Kobe 450 Rally that we rode in Canada. Our group only got to ride the Pr7 for a day, but it would be great to get the opportunity to ride this bike for a couple of days. It's pretty awesome. Funnily enough, two of the guys that were on the test ride day have just traded in their old bikes for brand new Pr7s, so it'll be great to see what they think after a few rides.